If the competition has a bigger hammer, you must go get a sharper nail. If they do 10 push-ups, you must do 20. If they work hard, you must work smart. And if they work harder, think and work smarter. Therefore, in this zone of discomfort in which we seek to excel in business, politics, or any other venture, stay comfortable in your own skin as a woman, as a wife, and as a mother, as the ultimate molder of character and the custodians of those things that make for success. The wind of change will blow you, of course, if you are not anchored by a core set of values. This is true for all persons, but especially so for a woman.
Someone once said that any woman who aspires to be a man, with all due respect to men in the room, lacks ambition, because men are overrated. Very few people know this, that women actually ran the economies. They didn't shut down. Organizations were not shut down during the war. And no one really asks who actually ran these countries when men went to war. It was women. So we can do it again, ladies. We have done enough thinking. We have done enough talking. What is needed is committed action. This is where women are brilliant. Not only do we have the ability to think of solutions, we also have the ability to execute. Given the expertise that we have, women should not only step up and stand out, we should lead in a new way, we should lead in a different way.
Women don't learn to own their position. You walk into a boardroom, you're the chairman of the board. So someone doesn't accept you, that person has a problem. I don't. That's the truth. So you're not begging the person for the position. You already have the position. But having said that, the reality is you need your team to work. And so even though you know that there might be some sensitivities there, you can use the management and language to manage that person. Sometimes you just show people love, and you know that's why women are good, because you know you manage the husband and the children, the in-laws and everybody else. You're already an expert at managing different kinds of people.
I know career and family, we have a problem with that as women. You need patience both in your career and also in the family. Many a times, you need the support for those who are married and who are planning to get married. I know you have a choice. People can make a choice to be single. Fine, I respect that. For those who want to keep a family, you need the support of your spouse and your children to move up there. Because at the end of the day, you are going to come back home. So there better be a home for you. Thank you.
When I started off, they told me, Madam, you cannot do it without giving people beer. No, you must give beer. And I said, I am not giving beer. I think you have to be clear about what you want and what you are about. I said, I'm not giving beer. One, because that's not who I am. But two, because it's absolutely stupid. The other guys have more beer than I will ever have. It's not strategic. If you are going up to give one bottle of beer against somebody who can give 5, how are you going to win that game? It doesn't make sense. And I said, let's take our time. Let's educate the grassroots. Let's go in there and talk to the youth, the women, the market women, and so on, and let us get them interested once again in politics, because that is the challenge in Cameroon. It is the challenge in Africa. It is getting the average citizen to understand that if they want water, if they want light, if they want schools for their children, if they want hospitals, they must get involved in politics.
Today, and why I hammer on this, the African development effort is again saddled with the baggage of that the public education system has collapsed. Therefore, people who were born into poor homes in my father's village today have very little chance of being like my father, ending up in Ivy League universities in the United States, because public education was high quality, it was accessible to people even lower down the pyramid, and it meant that they could transform themselves in terms of the economic circumstances of their future. Today, the public education system has more or less collapsed. Many of the middle class elements that sit around us find private solutions either abroad or in the most prestigious schools that you will find in Nigeria. Therefore, we are unknowingly creating a class society where the children of the poor will continue to be poor, and they will have children that continue to be poor. Now, James Baldwin, and I'll end here, in the 1960s said, the most dangerous creation of any society is the man or woman with nothing to lose. And the African societies today are creating many people who have nothing to lose. They will be the biggest risk to the future. When you look at it from that point of view of society, the woman's role, the parent's role becomes extremely clear. I like to cheat with a simple acronym when people ask me, what do you think should be done in Africa in order to catapult us onto the trajectory that we would like to? And I have a simple principle that I call the LIE principle. L standing for, we have to construct a law-based society, because it is out of a law-based society that you are able to exact the disciplined and organized systematic efforts that are required for development in the modern world. Obviously, I populate law-based with a lot more than just the simple definition that I have given. The second leg of this is on infrastructure. And infrastructure, I mean it very expansively. Not just the physical infrastructure, but also the infrastructure that is required for us to participate in a world that has just benefited from the cybernetic revolution. So technology is well situated in what I call infrastructure. And the third, and arguably one of the most important of that acronym, what I like to call the three-part acronym, is education. Education is a powerful motive force for the transformation of society.
Constituency is very key. How are you rallying your constituency? If the current government realized that if they had just 15 women in power, that all of these women in this room will leave their offices and queue right in the front of the presidency, the National Assembly, and every quarters, and say to them, we have equal representation in this country, we are even more than you. Why are only 15 of us? And so the challenge is back to the women. What have they done? Who has authored articles? When we led Enough is Enough in 2010, myself and my friends, it was the first time that Nigeria realized that they had a demography called young professionals. We went to the National Assembly to demand that they make the then Vice President the acting president. We had no light for 5 months, no fuel, crisis in Jos. Then we formed Enough is Enough. By the few hours, 6 hours after, CNN, Al Jazeera, the whole world, Enough is Enough was trending globally. They were calling us as they were running through the back door of the National Assembly. But that day, they recognized that block. I know what happened. They started courting that block. So President Jonathan, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, a sitting president sat down to do an interview with a lifestyle magazine, a youth one. He joined Facebook. He joined Twitter after he saw the power. The next year, he came to this same hall and had the first youth lunch with young people. We had broken the first barrier. So, if you are upset about the number, then I challenge the women in this room. Let us leave here now and start marching.